Do you still believe that going to a branded preschool or paying for extra tuition will give an edge to your kids' education in this changing world? In Singapore, many parents spend thousands on tuition and enrichment classes so that their kids have an unfair advantage. I wonder, if everyone does it, what kind of unfair advantage are we giving our children? It becomes the norm, and it becomes something like, I just do it because I do not want my child to fall behind. That is why we took action.
2 phones. 1 and 2 phones.
2 phones.
We first took a 6.5-hour flight from Singapore to Korea. And then on the next flight, we were seated separately, so I had to take care of my baby alone for 11 hours and 40 minutes before we arrived at Las Vegas.
And since we were making such a long trip, I thought, why not? Let's just extend our stay so that we can visit my mom and my sis in the East Coast. The only problem that it was kind of logistically impossible because I have to work remotely and it was impossible to take care of 2 children at the same time. Therefore, my solution was to send my toddler to a school here. So in this video, I am going to cover why we are sending our toddler to the preschool here and my personal thoughts about my children's education, what we hope to achieve, as well as how it was like and the cost. So with regards to my child's education, I would think that I am someone who is experimental but yet cautious. My idea of education is to supplement traditional education with world experiences. Since formal education starts at 6 to 7, this is my opportunity to explore different education styles as well as which environment will allow my kids to thrive. I want my children to grow up with good morals, strong character, as well as to be filled with curiosity to do good in the world. Imagine if you have been working for 4 years, studying computer science, and when you have finally graduated, then you realize that you're entering a job market that is flooded with many computer science graduates. It is a clear example that the world is shifting way faster than we think, and how traditional education sometimes struggle to keep up. AI is reshaping our world, but our schools are moving too slowly. And as a parent, of course I'm thinking, what kind of impact, with all these changes will have on my children. So recently I came across this research by McKinsey in 2021. The research is about defining the skills citizens would need in the future world of work. So in the report, they identified 56 foundational skills called deltas, distinct elements of talent, and they grouped them into 4 key categories, namely cognitive, digital, interpersonal, and self-leadership. They define the key skills that are linked to higher likelihood of employment, higher income, as well as job satisfaction. The result of the study says that self-leadership, as well as human skills such as adaptability, confidence, and motivation, are equally or more deterministic of real-world success. There are some nuances to the study, but I'll leave more information about the paper in the description below. Anyhow, my key takeaway is that no matter how much classes and enrichment classes your kids sign up for and go for, it does not fulfill what is needed in a changing world. So I started to think, what kind of experience would allow him to learn how to adapt, struggle a little, and to grow through it. So we landed on this approach to bring my child to a new country, to a totally new environment, attending a new school, force him out of his comfort zone. As for how my older child adapted to school, this was how his first day went. Are you excited to go school? Are you excited to go school? Yeah. Oh, into school, okay? This is the school. The school.
Basically, he cried for more than an hour and kept asking for his friends. But at the end of the day,
New school. He said the first thing. Okay, wow, you like your new school? Just now you were crying, for 1 hour.
I think of it like an exchange program, something like a summer program. I like how diverse his school students are. Within his class of 12, there's different people from different ethnicity and different backgrounds. So it was pretty nice. Perhaps you might be wondering, how did we get our toddler enrolled in a preschool here as a non-resident? And you know what? It is pretty easy. We weren't picky about the schools that he was attending. Basically, we inquired the preschools that are surrounding the neighborhood that we are living in, and whichever had the availability, we'll just send him there. Actually, we inquired for both New York and San Francisco to see which location might work out. Eventually, we have decided to proceed with New York, and New York school is slightly, or maybe I would say 30% cheaper compared to the one that we inquired in San Francisco. So here are what we went through. First of all, we inquired for availability, and then we fill up multiple forms and pay the deposit so that we can secure the slot for him. Thereafter, we decided the date that he will start school, and before he started school, we actually had to go through a medical checkup as required for students who are studying in preschool in New York, and that includes a blood test. Now, you might be curious how much it costs for us. Just like in Singapore, the cost of preschool education might vary quite a bit depending on if they're branded schools or the teacher ratio and whatnot. So the places that we have inquired actually had a range. So we had anything from 1,006, that was the cheapest, all the way to 3,000 for a month. My child's preschool cost about 1,009, and we sent him for a full day class. So there's also option for a half day class, which is from 8 to 2. We sent him from 8 to 6, and it cost us about $150 to register. The medical checkup was about $100, and that includes some blood work. Well, in terms of the school curriculum, I believe the timetable is similar. The school fees also include food, and it includes breakfast, lunch, and 2 snacks in between. We did not have to purchase any school uniform like Singapore because people just wear their home clothes here. And for us, accommodation are kept to zero because I'm staying with my mom. Overall, I would say that the cost is probably comparable to Singapore. The Singapore branded schools. If you're sending to your kids to something like Maple Bear or even Mind Champs. I don't know. I don't send my kids to these schools.
So perhaps if you have considered something more unconventional for children, or maybe if you like traveling like us, and if you want to consider some kind of digital nomad styles, there are a couple of programs that you can consider out there. Perhaps you can consider something like Boundless Lives, which is a turnkey solution, or you can do something like us, a DIY style. It has been a month or so, and it has been a wild ride so far. I'm solo parenting, technically solo, with a bit of help from my mom and my sis. Jingle is actually away in San Francisco for the past month. My mom actually sprained her leg the other day, and every day my patients are being tested with 2 children. But hey, I'm still here, still surviving, still getting used to the routine. I'm not regretting any single part of this because I like suffering. I know things will get better from now on, and I'm excited to see how this experience will shape me and my children. So if you're interested to learn about our journey, I'll be sharing more about our New York diaries in the next couple of videos. So see ya!